Welcome to TotalTennisGame.com. I'm Kevin Garlington, your USPTR Certified Tennis Pro, and welcome to the third video, Shot Selection. Again, make sure you've watched the previous videos so you're up to speed with what we're going to talk about today. Now that you understand the fundamentals of strategy, tactics, and how to recover correctly, it's time to talk about shot selection. In this video, we're going to learn about the 4 zones of shot selection. The reason why this is so important to you is because it eliminates indecision in your game, which is another cause of making unforced errors. Some of the benefits are no second guessing, having a clear plan, and playing with confidence. When we are using the 4 zones, we break the court down into 2 center zones, the attack and change directions. The 2 outer zones are the cross court and the 50-50. The outer zones are the same on each side of the court. We're going to start with learning what to do when the ball lands in the cross-court zone. Just like the name of the zone says, you want to take the ball back cross-court and hit the ball to your opponent's cross-court zone. If you're running around your backhand to hit a forehand, so you would be hitting an inside-out forehand. By hitting the ball back to your opponent's zone, you're able to reduce the options that your opponent has. For example, when you hit the ball back to your opponent's cross-court zone, if your opponent changes direction of the ball, it makes them take a higher risk shot. Their chances of making an unforced error or giving you advantage in the point from a poorly placed shot increases dramatically. This explains why you see so many cross-court rallies in the professional game. When the ball lands in the change of direction zone, it's now time to try to move your opponent around the court. This doesn't mean you have to change directions of the ball. It's the optimal time to do it because you'll be taking less risk. You've probably found yourself running side to side or being wrong-footed because many of your balls are landing in the center of the court. This is the most important part of the court to control because you'll have the most options for the type of stroke that you want to hit and where you want to hit it with the least amount of risk. Warning: if your opponent hits an extremely deep ball in the center of the court, it's a good idea to try to reply with your own deep ball in the center of the court until you receive a better ball to change directions on. When the ball lands in the 50-50 zone, this is time for you to use the ball as an approach down the line or pull your opponent off the court with an angle. In the attack zone, you're going to always want to move forward and force your opponent to come up with a great shot. You can approach down the line if the ball lands on one side or another. Up the middle is a great approach if you're trying to cut down on the amount of angle that your opponent has to pass you. Action steps. Incorporate one of the 4 zones in your game per week until you're able to use all of them without thinking about it. Thank you for watching. Leave any comments or questions you might have and I'll personally get back to those. I hope you enjoyed these tips and play tough.